The topic of discussion is atomic structure and the subtopic is photon.
Before going into the details, let's see the drawbacks of Rutherford's model. There were unstable atomic model, behavior of electrons, and planet-like picture. So Max Planck proposed the quantum theory in 1900 to explain the emission and absorption of radiation. It is stated as energy travels in a discontinuous manner and it is composed of large number of teeny discrete units called quanta. यानी एनर्जी एक डिसकंटिन्यूअस मैनर में ट्रैवल करती है, ये कंटिन्यूसली ना तो एब्जॉर्ब होती है और ना ही एमिट होती है, एंड इट इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ टीनी डिस्क्रीट यूनिट्स जिसको उसने क्वांटा का नाम दिया. Let's see its postulates in detail. So first postulate is about photon. Energy is not emitted or absorbed continuously. Rather, it is emitted or absorbed in a discontinuous manner and in the form of wave packets, जिसको उसने क्वांटा का नाम दिया. Each wave packet or quantum is associated with a definite amount of energy. In case of light, उस quantum of energy को हम photon कहते हैं.
So in this diagram you can see energy जो है वो continuously emit और absorb नहीं हो रही, जबकि वो फोटोन की फॉर्म में emit भी हो रही है और absorb भी हो रही है. absorb कब हो रही है? जब वो एक लोअर ऑर्बिट से हायर ऑर्बिट की तरफ मूव कर रहा है, और emit कब हो रही है? जब एक हायर ऑर्बिट से लोअर ऑर्बिट की तरफ मूव कर रहा है. And the next postulate is energy and frequency. The amount of energy associated with a quantum of radiation is proportional to the frequency of radiation. It means energy is directly proportional to frequency. Frequency is the number of waves passing through a point per second. So अगर हम first point को एक equation की form में लिखें, we will write E directly proportional to frequency. और जब हम proportionality का sign emit करेंगे तो फिर it will be h. So यहाँ पे एक proportionality constant आएगा, that is known as Planck's constant. So let's see what is Planck's constant. In the previous slide we read about h. So h is a constant known as Planck's constant. Its value is 6.62 into 10 raised to power minus 24 joule second. It is in fact the ratio of energy and frequency of a photon. So Planck's constant is basically the ratio of energy and frequency of a photon. E equals to hf, where E is the energy, F is the frequency, and H is the Planck's constant. Let's see how we define energy in terms of quanta. A body can emit or absorb energy only in terms of quanta. Planck ने कहा कि energy जो है वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्वांटा की फॉर्म में इमिट और एब्जॉर्ब हो सकती है. सो E equals to HU. The frequency is related to wavelength of the photon, as frequency और wavelength inversely proportional होते हैं. So Hu is equal to C over lambda. C is the speed of light and lambda is the wavelength. So greater the wavelength, smaller the frequency of photon, because they are inversely proportional. अगर एक चीज greater है तो दूसरी चीज smaller होगी. So E equals to hc over lambda. जब हमने equations में values put की, we will get E equals to hc over lambda. Let's see the relation between energy and wavelength. Wavelength is the distance between the two adjacent crusts and troughs, and expressed in angstrom, millimeter और picometer. Wavelength is basically एक wave के दो adjacent crusts और troughs के दरमियान के distance को कहते हैं. Greater the wavelength associated with the photon, smaller is its energy. किसी photon की जितनी ज़्यादा wavelength होगी, उसकी energy उतनी ही कम होगी, यानी कि they are inversely proportional. So wave number is a number of waves per unit length and is reciprocal to wavelength. So wavelength is also the reciprocal of wavelength. So wave number would be directly proportional to the energy. So mathematically, wave number is 1 over lambda. Putting values, we get E equals to hc over wave number. So the energy for photon is related to frequency, wavelength and wave number. So this is the final equation. As such MCQs में भी पूछ ली जाती है. So here is a summary of photon. A photon is an elementary particle. It behaves as both a particle and a wave. A photon has no mass, but it has momentum. It moves at a high speed of light. It has no electrical charge. Its energy is directly proportional to its wavelength. So these are some facts which can be asked in MCQs. So this was all about a photon. I hope you people have understood the lecture well, and thank you so much.